Dora was looking for Boots, who was hiding in a tree, swinging on a vine. As he landed by a bush, he found a metal boot. Behind the bush, he discovered a robot. It had 3 different tools: a hammer, a screwdriver, and a wrench. They tried to turn him on, but he wouldn't function because he was missing batteries. They counted, discovering the robot needed 8 batteries. Luckily, Backpack had that many. The batteries were installed, and once the robot was turned on, they learned his name was Roberto. Dora and Boots introduced themselves to Roberto. Roberto looked around the forest and couldn't find his grandpa. Dora and Boots decided to help Roberto find him. First, they checked a map to see where Roberto's grandpa was. Map says he was at his house, but to get there, they had to go across Railroad Bridge and past a volcano. Map reminded them that they could catch stars along the way, so Dora, Boots, and Roberto headed off to find Railroad Bridge. Roberto extended his legs to high to see it. Now they were on their way. But there was one problem: Roberto had forgotten how to walk, so Dora and Boots helped Roberto by doing the robot walk. After that, Benny and Tico needed help with their treehouse because it was broken due to a strong wind and they didn't have any tools to fix it. Luckily, Roberto had some tools, so he extended his legs and got to work. First, he got his hammer to pound the nails into the wall and hold it in place. Tap, 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 said Roberto as he pounded the nails back in. Next, he had to screw in the window. Got his screwdriver. Twist, 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 said Roberto as he twisted the screws back into the window. All that was left to do was to tighten the door. Roberto got his wrench. Turn, 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 said Roberto as he tightened the nuts to hold the door into place. Pretty soon, the treehouse was all fixed and good as new. Benny and Tico thanked Roberto for the robot for fixing it and cheered, Roberto, Roberto, Roberto. What a cool robot, exclaimed Benny. Muy bien, added Tico. Suddenly, they heard stars. The stars moved all around. They even saw an explorer star named Toolstar. They were able to catch them and put them in their star pocket. Then Roberto, Dora, and Boots got going. Betty and Tico said goodbye. Once Dora, Boots, and Roberto got to Railroad Bridge, they saw some train tracks missing on the bridge. Azul, the blue train, was coming toward them. Stop, Azul, they all said together. But Azul was going too fast to stop, so Roberto had to fix the bridge before Azul got too close. Roberto's feet changed to wheels. He got his hammer and got to work. Roberto found a track with one piece and hammered it into place. Next, he found a track with 2 pieces and connected together and hammered it into place. Azul still couldn't stop. Then Roberto found a track with 3 pieces connected together, but the last piece was stuck under a rock. Toolstar came to the rescue, using a crowbar to pry the rock off. The final piece was hammered into the bridge just in time. Dora asked Azul if he was okay. Azul was fine and noticed the robot was fast, asking them for his name. His name was Roberto. Azul thanked them for repairing the bridge, and then he chugged away. Dora, Boots, and Roberto had to figure out where to go next. They got across Railroad Bridge. Now they just had to go past the volcano. The problem was a giant rock blocking the path. So, Roberto lifted up the giant rock and set it down. Dora and Boots did the robot walk with Roberto again. As Dora, Boots, and Roberto approached the volcano, they heard Swiper the fox. So I was told to watch out for Swiper. Unfortunately, Swiper swiped Roberto's tools were lost inside the volcano, and Boots patted Roberto's back while Dora wondered how they would get them back. Suddenly the volcano started to shake, which caused the ground and everyone else to shake. The volcano erupted. Kaboom! It went. It was raining bouncy balls. Roberto the robot had to catch his tools. He got his hammer back, followed by his screwdriver. Suddenly, a bouncy ball obscured the wrench. It appeared again, and Roberto was quick enough to get it. Now Roberto had his tools back. So far, they crossed the railroad bridge and gone past the volcano. All they had to do now was to go to Roberto's grandpa's house. It was very far away. Dora, Boots, and Roberto needed a fast way to get there. Suddenly, a robot bike appeared behind the tree. On top of that, it was built for 3. Dora checked her backpack for 3 helmets. Once Dora, Boots, and Roberto had their helmets on, a yellow bird streaked up to Roberto, telling that his grandpa was very worried. Boots knew who that yellow bird was. Roberto told that her name was Katie, and she flew very fast. Dora, Boots, and Roberto pedaled the robot bike very fast. Together, they followed Katie to a gate. Roberto told the gate, Abrete, por favor. Open, please. They all went through the gate and approached Grandpa's house. They all went inside. Roberto's grandpa was so happy to see Roberto back home. Roberto had 2 pets, a robot dog and a robot cat. Roberto introduced his new friends Dora and Boots to his grandpa and explained that they were the ones who helped him get him home. His grandpa thanked him for bringing Roberto home.